So in this video, we're going to be creating our Node.js project for the Gemini demo. Yeah, the Node.js project we're going to be using, that we're going to be implementing Gemini in. And I'm going to be making this a web project just because of, how I want the tutorial flow to go. I'm going to be making this a web project, so we're going to have like endpoints, and we're going to be able to call those endpoints and have Gemini do some magical AI stuff for us. So I'm going to make a new directory and call it Gemini demo. Gemini demo, that will be the project folder. Then I'm just going to cd into it, Gemini demo, and quickly let's initialize this as a Node.js project. I'm going to say npm init and do -y so that I can skip all the interactive prompts. Yep, basic package.json scaffolded here. So let's clear this. Now we have our project. So because this is going to be a web project, I'm going to need Express. So we're going to install Express. And let's also bring in two other modules. I'm going to bring in cause just so that I don't have to deal with any annoying cause stuff. So bring in cause, and I'm going to also bring in .env. That's going to manage our environment file. So cause and .env, yeah, I think that's all for now. That's all for now. So let's install those. Yep. Yeah, now that we have that in place, we can go into VS Code and open up this project. So let me go to VS Code, and let's do file, open, YouTube tutorial, Gemini demo. Yeah, let's open up our project. So now we have our project open up in VS Code. Everything looks cool. And now we can start writing some code. So I'm just going to create a new file here, call it server.js. So this is going to be our server file, and it's going to be accepting our requests that we're going to be processing with Gemini. A lot of boilerplate stuff to start. Let's bring in Express. Express require Express, and also let's bring in cause. See, require cause. And lastly, let's bring in the .env library. Const .env equals require .env. So require.env. So we have the libraries in place, and I'm just going to come down here and set a port and say const port equals that's a process.env.port, and or we can set the port to, let's say 3000 for 3000. Okay, so that's all cool. And okay, I need to create an Express app. Yeah. So const app, let me create my Express app. Const app equals Express. Okay, that's good. So now we can make our application to listen on the defined port. So app.listen, first give it a callback, or rather we have our port first, and we have our callback. So yeah, we can just print a message to the console and just say something like server listening on port, and we put our port. Yeah, port. Okay, so that's all boilerplate Express stuff. Let's run this to make sure that our app is running. Let's go to the command line, and here let's just do node server.js. So server listening on port 3000, that works fine. To wrap up this project, let us have our API key in an environment file. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to create a new file called .env, and here we're going to put our API key. So we're going to define an environment variable, rather, call it API key, and set that equal to the value of our key. So API key set to the value of a string. And I'm just going to go back to AI Studio, and click copy on our API key. Go back to VS Code, and let's just paste that in here. Okay, so we have that. We have our API key here. And yep, I think this completes our project. Yeah, this completes our project. We now have our project set up. We have the API key in place. Yeah, one more thing. Yeah, definitely one more thing. After all this bringing in stuff which require, let's call .env. No. Lowercase. .env.config. That's going to make sure that we have access to all the environment variables defined in this file, in this .env file. So make sure you call this. Don't forget to call this after all the require statements, and it will make sure that we can do something like process process.env process.env and have access to any of the environment variables that we've defined. Just remove this. So yeah, this is our Node.js project for the Gemini project. And now in the next video, we're going to be processing a textual prompt. Yeah, we're going to be processing a textual prompt. And after that, we're going to do another video where we're going to have a prompt that has an image. Yeah, how cool is that? Gemini can process images also. So we're going to be doing that. That will be our video 4. But now let's go to video 3, where we're going to be processing a text-based